This news update is brought to you by...
Don't you deserve a little me time? Play catch up and binge watch full seasons of your favorite TV shows. Available on video on demand from Flow. Simply press the VOD button on your Flow remote. This is how we do TV. This is how we flow.
This is the Barbados Today afternoon news update for Friday, January 22nd. Thank you for joining us. I am Lisle Worrell. The National Union of Public Workers is defending demands for salary increases for its members following criticisms of its proposals by one economist. Head of the Department of Economics at the UWI's Cave Hill campus, Dr. Winston Moore, told Barbados Today earlier this week that now is not the time to be making pay demands on the government. Dr. Moore further stated that while the union may be justified in its request, it could mean more public sector layoffs or more levies. NUPW President Akani McDowell says the union's proposal has not been made available for public consumption, and the union is unclear on what basis Dr. Moore's comments are being made. He maintains that the proposal is a sound one and will cause no harm to the country's prospects for continued recovery and economic growth. The central bank governor, Dr. DeLisle Worrell, is defending Barbados' creditworthiness, saying government has a perfect record of honoring its debt. Dr. Worrell was speaking at this week's launch of the Enhanced Guarantee Fund. He told the audience that concerns by commercial banks over government's ability to repay its debts is one of the reasons why they may be reluctant to lend to entrepreneurs.
The Barbados government has a perfect credit record. Perfect, 100%. Never been late on any payment, on any aspect of its debt, in my experience in working in the public sector of this country, domestic or foreign. So, if they are happy to keep them, and you know, they're not happy actually. The local managers, and I think Glenn and whoever else is here will testify to this, they would like to go forward. But they're constrained by the head offices, who don't know the local situation, and who have to answer to their regulators, who also don't know the local situation, and don't have the time really to find out how we manage so well in Barbados.
Another warning that a ban on the use of water other than for essential purposes may be implemented as part of plans to deal with the ongoing shortages. The warning comes from the chairman of the Barbados Water Authority, Dr. Atlee Brathwaite. He was addressing the launch of the water augmentation project in St. Philip, and it comes amid concerns raised by several communities who have been suffering from water shortages and outages over the past few months.
During the dry season, some areas in Barbados experience potable water shortages, and to overcome these shortages in water supply, many initiatives must be taken via an appropriate action plan, which may include the prohibition of water for non-essential purposes, the search for new sources of water, and the use of tankers and tanks to service areas experiencing shortages. To this end, new organizational and operational structure capable of ensuring quick implementable action may well be required at the Barbados Water Authority.
Police are reporting that the missing elderly woman from St. Philip has been traced and is safe. 80-year-old Carmen Sargent of Ruby Park was reported missing last evening after she left home around 4 o'clock.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
In news from the region, Antiguans will no longer have to pay income tax from April. Prime Minister Gaston Brown made the announcement yesterday during his 2016 budget presentation. He said the decision is in keeping with a promise to the public made by his Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party during the 2014 election campaign.
Not only will it put more money into the pockets of the people so that they can save or spend more for the benefit of the economy as a whole, it will also help to establish our country as one of the most competitive in the Caribbean and beyond. Mr. Speaker, abolishing the personal income tax will put $30 million back into the pockets of the people. The Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party government governed this country successfully for 27 years without personal income tax. It was done before, and it will be done again.
Brown also outlined some of government's plans to counter the losses which will be incurred as a result of the removal of the levy.
The first is to establish a revenue court, which will allow for the efficient and effective enforcement of tax collection. In other words, increased attention will be placed on enforcement, and we expect the full cooperation of the entire population. You can't, on the one hand, ask for relief, and then, on the other hand, skip paying taxes. Doesn't work like that. The money has to come from somewhere to grow and develop the country. It must be a situation of shared burden and shared benefits.
There are reports from Brazil of another rare illness linked to the Zika virus. Regional health officials have been warning that the virus could be linked to a brain defect, resulting in babies being born with unusually small heads. But the New York Times newspaper is now reporting that Brazilian doctors and officials are now warning of hundreds of cases of a rare syndrome in which patients can become almost completely paralyzed for weeks. According to the report, disease specialists say Zika may also be causing a surge in another rare condition. It is a potentially life-threatening syndrome in which an individual's immune system attacks part of the nervous system, leaving some patients unable to move and dependent on life support. And finally, residents of the U.S. East Coast are preparing for a huge blizzard that is expected to dump near record levels of snow on Washington and the Mid-Atlantic region. People have been warned of a potentially paralyzing storm that will bring about 24 inches of snow. There are also warnings of power outages and disruptions to air and road travel. As we hear in this BBC report, the warnings have also led to long queues and empty shelves at supermarkets.
Preparing for a winter storm like never before. These shoppers in Washington, D.C. queued up as they stocked up on supplies. This scene's been replicated across America's northeast. Despite the panic, this store says it'll be open throughout. Shoppers aren't taking any chances.
There needs to be toilet paper, clearly, and we're just going to cook and play board games all weekend. Should be fun.
We're buying provisions for the family of four and us, and we'll hunker down here for a few days.
I've been here for 40 years, so typical. Nothing's different. A lot of times when we do this, the storm doesn't come. But just in case it does, we're preparing.
In other places, shelves were already empty. People shared their photos on social media. Washington, D.C.'s forecast to get some of the worst snowfall. Schools have been closed and a state of emergency has been declared.
It is only the second such a time in recent history where this much snow in a single event has been forecasted. Given the significant severity of the forecast, we will treat this event as a Homeland Security and Emergency Management event in the District of Columbia.
The first flurries of the year arrived on Wednesday evening, providing a snowy welcome for Air Force One.
That's the news. There's more on our website, www.barbadostoday.pb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're on Izumi Media in bus terminals and Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You could also tune in to Channel 101 on Flow TV or Mix 96.9 FM for more news. I am Lisle Williams. Good afternoon.